In this video, we're going to graph some ellipses. And the reason that I'm not using the TI-84 calculator for this is that we cannot graph them in function mode since y is not a function of x. It wouldn't pass the vertical line test. We'd have to know how to graph in parametric or polar mode on the calculator to be able to graph ellipses. And since we haven't done that yet, then I'm going to use the Desmos graphing calculator, which will be able to do this graphing for me. So x to the second divided by 16 plus y to the second divided by 9 is equal to 1. And it wants us to find the foci. So I'll just get the points here that are important. We see that we're going -4 and 4 along the major axis and 3 and -3 along the minor axis. I want to plot those points here: 3, -3, 4, -4, and it's not quite a circle. It's stretched out a little bit in the x direction. What I'm concerned about, though, is that 16 minus 9 under the square root is c, so that's root 7, which is a little less than 3, definitely bigger than 2. So if I want to graph the point here that is 0 plus the square root of 7, if I want square root of 7, 0 as well. There's my foci that are the blue dots there. Okay. And that's it. So we would put those at 2.6 something right about there, and -2.6 something right about there, and we'd be done. Change this to 9 and this to 16, and now we're going to have 0 square root of 7 that way. We're going to have 0 negative square root of 7 this way. There's my foci. We just turned the ellipse on its side. We didn't really change the problem at all. So now it's stretched out this way: 4, -4, 3, -3, and we're still at 2.6 something here for my foci, -2.6 something for my foci, and it's an ellipse like that. Now I need to divide by 64 before I do anything else. This is x squared over 16 plus y squared over 4 equals 1. 4 and -4 in the x direction, and 2 and -2 in the y direction. Let's fix that here. This is 16 and 4. Looks like that. 16 minus 4 is 12, so c is root 12, which is 2 root 3. So I want my points to be at 2 square root of 3, 0, and -2 square root of 3, 0. And there's my foci. Those points are negative, not quite at -3.5. They're out here, very close to the vertices. Let me just show you that I can type this in as is without solving it first. 16x squared plus 9y squared equals 144, and Desmos will take care of this for me. So that tells me that my major axis is in the y direction. 4 times 4 is 16. 3 times 3 is 9, like so. My c is going to be root 16 minus 9 is root 7. I'm in the y direction, so my foci are at 0, negative root 7, and 0, root 7. Like so. And there's the foci. I'm going to go and I'm going to graph this, but we're going to go get some examples where the center is not at 0, 0. And this was here and down there. That's the same graph that we had before. Just a second. All right, so we're going to graph these few problems here as well. X minus 2 quantity squared divided by 16 plus y minus 1 quantity squared divided by 4. That equals 1. See how it's not centered at 0, 0 anymore? So we have points on the major axis here at 6, 1 and negative 2, 1. We have points along the minor axis at 2, 3 and 2, negative 1. And it doesn't ask me to find anything extra like foci, so I'm not going to. Center is at 1, negative 1 here. Major axis is in the y direction 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Minor axis has a radius of 2. Be an ellipse that looks kind of like that. Let's graph it in Desmos so it looks a little better. 1, 4 plus 1, 16. And there it is. Now, if I make this one 9 times quantity x minus 1 squared plus 16 times y plus 2 quantity squared is equal to 144. I'm going to see that this is going to be x minus 1 over squared over 16, y plus 2 over 9 is equal to 1. This is squared. So my center is going to be at 1, negative 2. Major axis is going to be in the x direction 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Minor axis is in the y direction 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, and just get those points there. I'm talking about 1, 1, 1, -5. Then I've got a point over here that's 5, -2. A point here that is -3, -2. And those are the points that I'm using to make that graph. Now we're just going to switch direction here. Really, nothing else is going on. I'm going to make this 16. And I'm going to make this one 9. And it's going to change direction. Nothing else really has changed though. So now we're at 1, 2, y, and 1, -6 here. That's my major axis. The minor axis is here, 4, -2, and -2, -2. There's my ellipse, much prettier on Desmos. The equation here, the x plus 1 squared over 9 plus y plus 2 squared over 16 equals 1. And that's going to be it for this video. We'll come back and do just a little bit more where we try and use the graph to get the equation next time.